At 7, when most children are jumping around on playgrounds or watching cartoons, Tony DiMatteo could be found in a rocking chair, eyes closed, listening to Beatles albums for hours on end. I used to have visions of, while listening to those albums, of being this rock star and healing people, says Tony DiMatteo, also known as fiZ. I have always associated rock and roll with healing the world and playing a part of it. It was never separate, it was always connected somehow. Now, when he was conveying this message, he was pretty much saying that with each song there's a purpose, and the purpose behind those songs, there is a spiritual connection that he believes influences the life of the musician. With taking that into effect, Tony DiMatteo himself, as a singer-songwriter, has taken those learnings into effect and understandably tried to make it into his own separate sheet of style. And I intend to prove that it's a long process and it's a lot of hard work to become a musician, especially one that wants to get the word across to people and his music spread. So I want to show you what it's like from a struggling musician that's working his way to making a difference on the world. Now, if you don't mind, I want to take us back in time a couple of weeks ago to my interview with the rising musician, Tony DiMatteo, also known as fiZ. Question number 1. What inspired you to start your music, besides your stepfather's doo-wop group band?
Oh yeah, I was inspired to play music before I saw them play. Basically, I could just remember listening to music at a very young age, and I think one of the definitive moments for me was I was sitting in the back of my mother's car, and I was just listening to the radio, and all these different artists were playing, Chuck Berry, and I was young, I must have been about 3 or 4, and I just remember it hitting me so, it was just such an impact, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do in my life. I just wanted to be a musician.
Okay.
And of course the Beatles had the biggest impact on me.
Oh yeah.
Because you know that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Took me to a place that, you know, I always wanted to be at. So that's why I knew I always wanted to be a musician and to share that healing power with others.
Okay. Now you've played for charities like Autism Speaks, and you've played for the Nassau BOCES over here in Massapequa.
Yeah.
What got you to want to play for these certain groups?
Well, again, because this has always been my whole dream. Like when I'm telling you, like when I was listening to play these Beatles albums, and I would have these visions of performing for children in need. These visions and these dreams I had as a child were so strong. They were so powerful. You know, they would bring me to tears. And so that drive, you know, I'm really into the law of attraction. I don't know if you're familiar with The Secret. Not to get off course, because I'm not.
Right.
But it's a DVD, and it's about the law of attraction. And they go over how, like, your thoughts and your feelings manifest things. So when I saw this, which was a few years ago, I had seen this DVD. It was validating what I already kind of knew, and it struck such a strong chord with me, this movie, because that's exactly what I've been doing all these years. I would have these visions of performing for children and being a rock star, but it's more than just the vision. It's more than just having that vision in your mind. You have to feel it, because it's a world of feeling. So when you have the feeling behind it, it's going to propel you even more. So when I had these visions and these dreams of being a rock star and helping children, it was so strong, the feeling was so strong that it propelled me to do just that, you know. So, you know, I created an organization / company called Notes for Life, and the first benefit I did was for Just Kids Foundation for children with AIDS. And then, you know, I was looking to wanting to do it on more of a regular basis. I was putting together charity events, but it takes a lot of time and effort to do that, and I wanted to do it on more of a consistent basis. So I just started searching for places where I could perform for children. To be honest with you, I'm not the only one. I mean, obviously, one common thing that most musicians have is like artists are giving souls. We're here to bear our soul and to share that love in our art with the world. It's a common, it goes along with being an artist. I mean, that's what artists do. That's what we're here for. We come here to share our art and to heal the world.
Now, where did fiZ come from?
Okay, fiZ is an old nickname that a friend of mine came up with, and I just felt like I just got the intuitive. I had many nicknames. I'm just like, sometimes some people have, they're that type of person where they always adopt all these names, and people always call them nicknames. And I had a lot of different nicknames. You might know me as Fruit Loops from your family, right? Your uncle, and then your grandfather, he used to call me Fruit Loops. So I had many different nicknames. Tone Vibe, fiZ, So I decided to use fiZ as my real name because it's just got universal appeal. It's just a good branding. This might break some people's expectations and go like, really? It's not deeper than that? But the truth is that I see the branding ability with fiZ. fiZ Enterprises, fiZ Wear Clothing Line, fiZ TV, fiZ. I'm working on a fiZ Kids CD right now. I'm working on some other very big things. So it's just got universal appeal. It's just friendly and fun, and at the same time, it could bring a different approach too. So that's kind of like the short thing, but things are deeper.
This is also going to give us the guidance that he has gotten, the steps he took, and pretty much just his ideas. A couple fun facts.
That's when you have visions of yourself and you see yourself, right? You gotta put feeling to it. When you put feeling behind it and you see it and you believe it, it's gonna make it that much stronger for it to happen in your life. So my visions, when I would listen to the Beatles as a young boy and I would play the Beatles and I had these visions of being a musician and performing for children, they were so strong, it propelled me, and I didn't get the support to become a musician in my family. They would, no one was saying, they were saying, cut your hair and get a job, and I was just like, no, this is where I see myself. So, I've been able to, for the most part, I've been able to sustain myself as a musician, and I performed for many, children and organizations, and I've raised thousands of dollars, and it's all because I have this goal and this dream, and it keeps me going, So, I'm actually working on a CD, and it has to do with kind of like intertwining rock and roll and spirituality, and basically combining different spiritual teachers and masters from different denominations and different religions. I'm really cautious about words, so I wouldn't say trying to accomplish. I try not to use. I work on not using that word trying not to. I would say I'm working on bringing peace and love and music into the world as much as possible. Look at Bono. Look what Bono's doing. So it's not a pipe dream. People are really taking action, and so there are stars out there that they know with their power that they can really make serious change in the world. So I've always seen myself as one of these people, and just because the world doesn't know me at the present moment on that level doesn't mean that you act accordingly to who you see, how you see yourself. So that this is how I see myself. Just because maybe people around me might not see that about me, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to carry myself with that belief and that knowing of who I am and what I want to contribute to the world.
Okay, just a couple more questions. One being, what steps did you take to becoming this big musician that people, at least of Long Island and your new area of California, have come to know?
Well, I'd say first of all, the biggest steps I take is I've worked very, very hard at songwriting. I worked very hard at practicing, you know, I would practice for many hours a day, you know, and again, I didn't get the support. Like, there are people out there that, you know, were able to get lessons, you know, take lessons, their parents would initiate. I'm pretty much, for the most part, self-taught. So, you know, some people have to work harder than others at what they do, you know. The next CD that I'm going to put out, for the most part, are songs that I've written recently within the past few years. But sometimes I go back and I grab a song way back from the past. And like on my last CD, there's a song on it called Take Me Back, which is a song I wrote, okay, let's see, at least 22, almost 25 years ago. As a matter of fact, your uncle, I remember writing the song, and I remember I was in a band with your uncle, John, and your father actually at one point was in this band. For those of you that are listening, Dave's father, Dave, used to go by Rusty, and he's the original, in the song, Take Me Back, the original lyrics are, I remember when me and Rusty would play Mr. Mojo Rising tapes every day. So, and the reason why I kind of changed it, honestly, was I just felt for more commercial accessibility, and also kind of also to give homage to your Uncle John, who is a dear friend of mine, and we played together for many years. And we were kind of, I presented that song to them. It was pretty much written.
Because of popularity, you changed the lyric. Would you say that as an artist, you technically did commercially sell out to what the public might want?
No, I don't look at it like selling out, and that's kind of what I wanted to tell you about. It's like how everyone views the world differently, right? I have songs that are not commercially accessible type of songs. I have songs that really wouldn't be marketable, but I have songs that are marketable. Now, just because I write songs that are commercially kind of accessible songs doesn't mean I'm a sellout. Peace, love, music is part of my branding. It's a part of my vision. It's a part of my belief and my goal to bring peace, love, and music into the world. So I use that a lot, and I'm going to be coming out with a Peace, Love, Music fiZ clothing line soon too, actually, and a jewelry line. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, fiZ. It was very nice getting all the questions out that I could.
Cool.
I promise.
Peace, love, music.
You got it, buddy.